Hi there! Welcome to my book party! Sorry about that. I am so excited. Today my book, Kai's Healing Smiles, is finally out. I am so proud of that. I am so happy. You have no idea. I've been dreaming of this moment for the last 20 years, so you can imagine how crazy I feel right now. I cannot stop smiling. And I'm so thankful for you to be here with me on my book party. And by the way, I decided for it to be a recorded book party instead of being like a live book party because it was going to be at night, which is not really great for me. And then also technical difficulties are always around us, and I would have been stressed out, and I didn't want to be stressed out today because it's my book party day. Oh my god. Oh, Misha. My cat is being really curious right now what I'm doing. So these are the balloons that I got. You can only see part of them, so I'm just gonna show you. Look at this beautiful rainbow. I got it this morning, and Misha's already trying to get to them. Mishi, Mishi. So I'm trying to calm down right now because I want to show you some cool stuff and yeah, just have the party, I guess, and answer your questions and stuff. I honestly cannot believe how many people have been supporting the book, supporting me. I would like to thank 100,000 people, but maybe that's not a great idea for right now because it's just gonna be the whole party. So let's just move on to more pertinent things. So first of all, let me show you the book. Here's the book. Ooh, I'm trying to do it with one hand because obviously I'm doing the microphone thing with the other. So, this is my book. This is my book, Kai's Healing Smiles. Look, it's really not that big. It's 49,200 words, so it's a big novella or a small novel, basically. But I'm so proud of it. It's my first book. I've previously self-published short stories on Amazon under different names, but I've never done a book before, a whole book and a print one at that. I've never done the paperback thing, and it's been a journey. It's been tricky, but it's so amazing. And oh my god, look at it. And I'm going to give this away, a signed copy of this to someone who wins the giveaway. Link below so you can enter the giveaway. And my cat, Mishi, she's making noises that I don't understand. Mishi. I got some party hats and I wanted to put one on her as well, but the party hats were really not a good thing because they didn't really fit our heads. And oh well, we're gonna bypass that and just jump to the next thing. Mishi. Sorry. Where was I? Oh yes, let me show you the swag. Oh my god. You can see the postcard here. The art is by Ruart, links below. She's an amazing artist. This is an amazing portrait of Kai and Silas, my main characters. I love them so much. So let me show you some of the swag. Where's the oh there it is. Okay, here's the postcard. You can see it on the, there we go. This is Kai and Silas. Aren't they beautiful? And then there's the little tiny card. Look at it. Then there's a bookmark I'm gonna make it bigger. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna make it bigger. I'm cutting them myself because it didn't work out. The services that I used for links below for getting my swag did not work for bookmarks for some reason. So it's okay. I'm gonna make the bookmarks myself. And by the way, I'm still waiting for the pins. So hopefully they arrive by the time that I have to send the winners of the giveaway their stuff because I want some pins, guys. Oh, okay. Here's the stickers. Oh my god, can you imagine putting this on, I don't know, on your laptop or somewhere? It's beautiful. Oh. And then a tiny little sticker. Look at it. On your phone or whatever. I don't know. Oh, I love the swag. So, anyway, I'm too excited for this. Whew. So, I was thinking, before I'm gonna answer some questions by readers, I was thinking I could read, show you some other things from the book and then read the first 3 sentences because they're my favorite. And then we can jump to the me answering questions part. Okay, so let's see. Okay, you can see Kai and Silas here inside the book. Oh my god, this is so hard to do with one. Hold on. See? This is inside the book. Oh, so beautiful. They're black and white because it's better this way, trust me. And then there's the dedication. Hold on. I really want to show you the dedication. It's really important to me. Okay. Look at the dedication. Can you see the dedication? I can't even see what you're seeing. Okay, so it says, to my parents who always supported this dream, to my best friend who always got my back, and to the real life angels out there who come to us in mysterious ways and heal us with their smiles. Thank you. I wanted to dedicate this book mostly to my loved ones, obviously, and then to all those people out there who save us with their smiles, because you never know what kind of day someone is having. You know, how someone's depressed, how someone's just barely holding on, devastated about something, and then you just smile at them. You just give them a smile and they feel a little bit better. I'm not saying that smiles really have super healing powers. Obviously, you need more than a smile, but you know what I mean. Sometimes it just takes a little smile to make you feel a little bit lighter. And it's happened to me so many times in my life, and whenever I can, I give people smiles because I feel like they're really important. That's why I guess I really like the title of my book, Kai's Healing Smiles, because I believe that smiles and just good attitude and positivity and sorry for shaking you, and just a good outlook, a positive outlook on life can make such a big difference. And obviously it's not always possible. I'm not saying that you should always be positive or whatever. Sometimes there's mental illness, sometimes there's all kinds of circumstances that it's not your fault to be in. So it would be really stupid of me to say that you should just smile. All I'm saying is that sometimes a smile can be a really, really nice thing after a hard day, right? I think so. So anyway, so yeah, this book is about a man who's mourning the loss of his wife, of his soulmate, and he's really going through the motions like a zombie, just working, not really doing anything else. And then this young man who just wakes him up very slowly and heals his heart with his smiles. And the whole process is so slow, but I love their romance because I truly believe in the hurt comfort / hurt healing trope in romance, because I truly believe that we heal each other, we heal one another. Love can be healing, smiles can be healing. I don't know. I'm just gonna start gushing, so let's leave it at that. And my cat is making sound. I'm sorry, guys. So let's move on. I showed you the dedication, I showed you the image. Okay, let me just read the first 3 sentences because those are my favorite sentences. Chapter 1. Silas. Losing a soulmate is like losing 2 limbs or all of them at once. Suddenly, you don't know what to do with your body. You go through life like a zombie with infrequent flashes of awareness which anchor you to the world around you, if you're lucky. For me, that flash was Kai. Oh, it makes me cry. I have so much love for this story. Anyway, don't let me cry on my party. That would be weird. So I wanted, for this party, I wanted to answer some questions by my readers, advanced ARC readers, advanced reader copy readers, also my early readers who ordered the book early and read it early because I sent it to them early. So all of these people gave me amazing feedback on Goodreads, on Twitter, everywhere. And I just asked, hey guys, do you have any questions? Because I would love to answer them during my book party. And so that's what I'm gonna do right now. Now, there were too many questions. There's like 45 questions in here, so I'm probably gonna only do 10 and maybe do some more in another video if that's okay with you. By the way, this is a pirate's hat. I don't know why. There's no pirates in my book. But it was the funnest hat that I had, so there you go. Okay, so before I answer those questions, I wanted to answer a couple of questions that everybody asked. So those are the ones with priority. The number one question everyone asked was, where is the book located? Okay, I'm not great with detail. I'm not great with pinpointing exactly where, what's happening. So I bypassed that in the book, and the result was everyone is asking, where is it? Where is this? So I do apologize for the confusion. In my head, I guess I pictured Chicago and the Navy Pier for their first date because I went to Chicago, I went to Navy Pier, it was fun, and I don't know if I remember it correctly, but I went to by the way, I'm from Bulgaria. I went to the United States for a summer back when I was young. And it was fun. It was a summer of work, of meeting new people, of experiencing a whole new mindset. I loved it. I never went there after that. I mostly lived in the UK for 4 years, then in Italy for 2 years. I went around, but then I came back to Bulgaria because I love it here. And so I guess you can say that my book is situated somewhere there. The other question everybody asked was, what inspired you to write this book? I hope I'm not gonna cry when I say this, but okay, I was reading a lot of werewolf romances and shifter romances, and the basic idea there is that you have a fated mate, you have a true mate, one of them, and you spend your life with them. It's a beautiful concept. I believe in soulmates with my whole heart, and I like the idea that it's just one person, but honestly, I don't believe it's just one person. I believe it's more than one people. So I was reading all those books and I was thinking, okay, well, what happens if you lose your soulmate? Do you lose all hope? Do you just stop living? That was the question that pushed me to write Kai's Healing Smiles. I just wanted to see, well, what happens if you lose your soulmate? And Silas, the main character, he lost his wife of, 10 years. Elice, she was lovely. He was deeply, deeply in love with her. She was his whole world, and he lost her. And for a long time, he just didn't know what to do with himself. He went through life like a zombie, sleepwalking, working, not really doing anything, not getting out there again because he didn't see any point. What's the point? You've lost your soulmate. But then along comes Kai. I hope that's the message that I conveyed with this book, that we have so much space in our hearts. We have enough space to love more than one person, many people, as much as we love anyone else. We don't have to compare our loves. We don't have to love one person more or less than another person. We can love everyone and endlessly. And I feel like in my own life, I have had multiple soulmates. Sometimes it didn't even come to pass, but that's okay, because life is a moment of missed connections, so that's fine. The more I traveled, the more I noticed there were a lot of people who could have been my soulmates, but it never came to pass with some of them because I left the country or whatever. And I truly do believe that we have the capacity to love many people and to be loved by many people, and there's no such thing as one soulmate. There's many soulmates. And I hope that I conveyed this hope, this belief in my book, Guys Healing Smiles, because I hope that anyone who's lost a soulmate, I hope you never do, but if you have, I hope that you know love comes again and it's just as strong. I truly do believe that. I believe that. What about you? What do you believe? Do you believe that one person has one soulmate in the world, or do you believe there's many soulmates? So anyway, wow, I didn't cry. I was sure I was gonna cry, but I didn't. That's good. I don't want to cry anymore. I just wanted to share my inspiration for this story. Truly, when I started writing this book, my only thought as I was writing it was like, I'm never gonna finish this. I have so many unfinished stories and a few finished ones, don't worry, but so many unfinished stories, and this was one that was like heavy, it was really heavy, and I was like, I'm never gonna finish this. I haven't lost a soulmate. I don't know about this. But honestly, it just flowed out of me. It was just like someone gave it to me. I truly do believe that we artists, we have some kind of connection to other worlds or something, and my muse or some kind of like some other entity gave it to me. I was some kind of vessel for the story. It just came out of me completely done. I mean, obviously I fixed it a little bit, but honestly, it was done. It came out of me all at once in 3 days or 2 days or something. So you can see it was just one of those things that flow out of you. And when I looked at this story and my other stories that I could have released first, I just said, okay, this is the most hopeful one. This is the one that I feel the strongest about. Maybe that's the first one, Why is this shaking? I'm so sorry. I feel like my video is shaking. I'm sorry if I'm giving you some kind of like nausea. Sorry. I'm so excited, so you'll forgive me. Okay? Let's see more of the balloons. So anyway, okay, I shared some of my inspiration. I showed you the book and the swag. Let's answer some questions. And maybe show you my cat at some point, who is hiding now because she's like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? Weirdo. Okay, so let's look at the questions. Okay, first one. Bumblebee asks, what is your advice to someone who wants to publish their own book? Great question. My advice is do a lot of research. Seriously, you're gonna make so many mistakes when you're publishing your book. I made a lot of mistakes. but it's okay. I mean, you learn as you go, and you fix the mistakes later. They're not the end of the world, you know. It's one of those fun things, a fun adventure that you're on. I guess my most important though note, if you want to publish your book, is decide if you want to do it traditionally or self-publish it, because I mean, you don't automatically have to query your book for traditional publishing. I mean, for example, I have never queried. I wanted to do it this way, to self-publish, because it's my choice. It fits my personality best, you know, because self-publishing is great for people who like to control things, who like to do a lot of research, to learn different skills, you know, design, marketing, you know, finding people to help you with your book and how to publish and where to publish, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's all very exciting. But if you don't want to learn and you feel awkward doing all of it yourself, then maybe traditional publishing is for you, and then you do have to query. But seriously, self-publishing is a gift. I love it. I love it. So anyway, yeah, decide what you want to do first and then do it. Just do it. Don't plan forever. Don't procrastinate forever. Obviously, you have to feel like it's the moment. The moment has come. Because for me, it took a lot of years for me to be confident in my writing and that I wanted to share it already. Because with past stories, I didn't really feel that click, you know, okay, it's ready. I'm ready. So now that I felt it this year, I just did it. And I think you should just do it if you feel ready. If not, then just keep practicing, keep writing, keep enjoying. You know, there's no rush, there's no pressure. Just do whatever you want to do. Okay, next question. Different colors. I did them in different colors because I'm a geek. Okay, Julian asks, did you base your characters off of anyone in real life? Maybe I should have decided on my answers in advance because I have no idea. Okay, let me think. Did I base off anyone on people in real life? I'm sure I did. I didn't. See, the thing is, when I write, I don't think about what I'm writing or who I'm writing. It just comes out. Like I said, it comes out ready. I don't make decisions. Well, I do make decisions in the beginning. So my first decision is, okay, what's the name of the characters? What's the story about in a big picture kind of way? And that's it. And then I sit down and write and discover literally everything. I have no idea what they are, what they like, what they don't like, I don't know who they are. I just discover them. I'm sure my subconscious based them off of some people that I've known because I've known many people in my many travels. But I'm a little bit ashamed to say that there is a self-insert, and I think it's pretty obvious which one. So yeah, if you know which the self-insert is, just comment below and let me know. And yeah. Next question. Okay, let's pick up a big one. This is fun. Okay. Luz asks, what is your favorite genre to read? Gay romance. At the moment. So at the moment, the second I started reading gay romance, 2 years ago, I was hooked. I was so hooked, it's not even funny. I read hundreds of gay romance books. Fell in love with so many characters and authors. It's unbelievable. Now, the thing is, I still would read what I read before, obviously, because you don't just stop reading a genre. I generally read urban fantasy, horror, thrillers sometimes, and yeah, basically all kinds of romance. So my whole life I was mostly the kind of person who would read fantasy and sci-fi, And, well, yeah, speculative fiction, that was my thing, right? And I used to write it. But it didn't really, I couldn't finish those stories for some reason. I don't know, it didn't really fit me as a writer. So after many years of trying to finish a fantasy story, I finally said, well, what would happen if I started writing romance, which is the stories I always saw in my head anyway. So, long story short, I started writing and reading mostly romance, and now I have many finished stories, and I'm very, very proud of myself. I have several finished hetero romances, several finished gay romances, and I think the moment I let myself write in my most fitting genre, at least that's in my case, it just works out. And it works out because I finally allow myself, instead of like outlining and planning, which is okay for many people, for me it's not. No, I planned and outlined for many, many years, never finishing anything, because when I have an outline, I'm like, okay, it's done, moving on. So for my brain to be interested in the story, I have to know absolutely nothing. I am surprised when something happens. I am excited when something happens. I cry when something happens. Basically, when I'm writing, I'm also reading the story. So I'm a hardcore pantser all the way 100%. And this is why I started finishing stories, because I allowed myself to write in my own way. And I hope that you found your own way too. It could be a combination of both. It could be one or the other. Whatever works for you. Yay! Okay, next question. Isn't there like green? Okay, let's do green. Okay. Janeen asks, do you plan to write any other stories with these characters? Never say never, but generally no. I know a lot of people want to see May again. They want to see Wesley. That's an option. That's an option that I could explore. His own happily ever after, because he's a great character. But for May to be a main character would have to be a sapphic romance, because she's a lesbian, which is great. Sapphic romances are amazing, but I haven't started writing them yet. So maybe, who knows? I don't know. For now, it's mostly gay romance. So, yeah, maybe Wesley is gonna have his own romance. We'll see. You never know. Another color. Hiro asks, was Kai's Healing Smiles always the one of your books to be published first? No. No. I wanted to publish My Shelter first, which is the first gay romance story that I wrote and finished that I felt like was perfect. But it ended up being 85,000 words. It ended up being out of control long. And also, there was a lot to be fixed. Like, I had to fix a lot, which, I mean, I got kind of lazy and said, okay, well, let's just start with easier books, okay, where you fix less. Oh my god, that sounds awful, but basically that's what happened. And my choice was between Kai's Healing Smiles and To Trust and to Touch, my next book, by the way. It's available for pre-order because I'm crazy and it's already edited and done, and yeah, it's coming out on December 13. I can't wait because that's another like hard-hitting, heavy on your heart, beautiful story, if I may say so myself. So anyway, those were my choices between Kai's Healing Smiles, a story about a grieving widower who finds love and happiness again, and a story about a man who never wants to be touched. Yeah, it's a tricky one, but trust me, it's so good. Oh my god. It's so good. I want to cry when I think about it. I always cry when I write my books. I swear I do. So anyway, I guess my answer to that question is I wanted Kai to be the first because it's the most heartfelt one, gives the most hope. I don't know. It's just I felt the most for it, so I decided, hey, let's do it first. Yeah. Okay, let's see this white one. By the way, my handwriting is so bad, but I can read it. So, William asks, "How did you come by your title?" I can't remember. I don't remember. Okay, this was originally something smile something. Oh my god, I don't even remember what it was originally. I'm sorry, I have failed you. All I remember is that a couple of months back when I was ready to, publish it and everything, and I was doing my cover, it just clicked. One day it just clicked. It was such an obvious title. So yeah, I don't remember where it came from, why it came from, when it came from. I only remember that it was instantaneous and it was obvious. Okay, another question. Brian asks, is there any likelihood of characters from prior books making appearances in new ones? I can't even speak. Yes, there is. Like I already said, I'm thinking about using Wesley for a romance. And also, I do, in some of my books, there's like a connection. There's this connection. You're going to see in the second book, you're going to see there's this sex club called Kink World. And it's a place that always shows up in my books. You'll see, it appears everywhere, and sometimes the characters kind of appear again. So I don't know if Kai or Silas are going to appear again, or who's going to appear where, but always they kind of sneak in. They're so sneaky, my characters. My muse doesn't even ask me for decisions. She does whatever she wants, and I let her. I let her, and at the end I'm happy because she knows better than me. Bumblebee asks, do you see yourself in any of the characters? Did you guess the self-insert? Yes, I did not start out thinking, oh, I'm going to be Kai, but, well, looking back, I might be Kai. Not fully, obviously. I'm not so awkward. I mean, he's pretty awkward, and I'm not so awkward. Just a little bit. And I don't know, he always smiles even when he's nervous. I always smile when I'm nervous, when I'm sad, when I'm happy. I always smile. So I relate the most to him, and I know you're not supposed to do that with your stories, but oh well. Sue me. Okay, blue one. Janeen asks, what was the most difficult thing to write? The emotional grieving scenes were the most difficult to write because, like I said, I cried. I always cry when there's a heavy scene. Where Silas was grieving and refusing to move on, and just the past holding him back, and it was really, really difficult to write. And the other really difficult thing to write is, if you've read the book, you know it. It's the most deplorable part of the book. There's a reason why there's an SA trigger, because it almost happens, almost. And that scene was not very pleasant to write, but it was necessary because Kai is very, well, let's say naive. He trusts people. He sees the good in people, which I can relate to again. And I just wanted to show that sometimes it's not exactly, people are not exactly the way they portray themselves online. Even if you've talked months and months with someone online, it can still result in a bad situation. I mean, I've had those situations. I've had a boyfriend who I met online. I had a best friend who was online and she turned out to be a liar. I've been through so much stuff with people online that I guess it just came out of me, in this story. I just wanted to show that sometimes you really have to ask questions and be careful with people online, because even if it seems the person is awesome and you enjoy your time with them, it could result in really unpleasant situations. Next question. Lysander asks, what part of the process, writing, drafting, marketing, was most challenging? Writing is never challenging. It's the fun part that I always look forward to. I'm just waiting for my writing season. I have seasons. In some seasons I write, in some seasons I publish. And I cannot wait for my next writing season. It's probably going to be either NaNoWriMo or January, which is always writing month for me. So, writing is the best. Drafting and editing, I don't like editing, so I could have probably done more for many of my books, but I hate editing. Obviously, I hired a professional to help me out, so at least there's that. But yeah, editing is maybe my most challenging part, because I hate it. Marketing is fun because I get to talk to you guys and get to be on Twitter and get to experiment with different things. I mean, I love little experiments, and I've been doing a lot of them for marketing this book, so let's see what works and what doesn't, right? It's fun. So far, ARC's giving people advanced reader copies has been the hugest help of all, really. I really recommend doing this for your book, for your next book. Just start 1 month before the release so that you give people enough time, and contact book bloggers or bookstagrammers or booktubers or whatever, and definitely just ask people on social, or just ask, hey, who would like to read an ARC copy. And also there are services that help with this, like NetGalley is a little bit expensive, and other services that help you find people who would objectively read your book, because they don't know you, they don't know who you are. So I'm so excited because Kai's Healing Smiles already has 50 reviews on Goodreads, and half of those are people that I found personally, and half of those are complete strangers that don't know me from Adam. So I'm so happy that a lot of both groups said so many flattering things about the book, and I got so many 4 and 5 stars. I'm like, is this for my book? I'm not one of those people who's like, my book is the best. No, I know my books, my writings, etc. weaknesses. I know my weaknesses, okay? So I was expecting more 3 stars, but they're probably gonna come, right? They're probably gonna come. So and 2 stars and 1 stars. I don't care about the rating. All I care about is that I get feedback, that people are reading it, that people know my voice, and just, I care about the readers, not the ratings. So Brian asks, May seems to be a popular character. Yes, everyone loved May. I love her too. Oh my god, when I was writing her, I was like, this is a genius character. How did I come up with her? Answer, I did not. My muse did. So, any chance of seeing more of her? I wish. God, I wish. I'm gonna have to think of something to bring her back because she's awesome. Switch. Okay. Hiro asks, how do you write pants exactly? How do you come up with plot and characters? Okay, are you ready for my big secret? This is my writing process. It's a writing season, so that means a full month of doing nothing else but writing. No social media, no work, nothing. January usually, and July or August. One full month. Sometimes it's 2 months, sometimes, it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously it depends on if I can take time off work, but anyway, it's a writing season, it's a writing month. So I write from morning till night. Literally, I sit down in the morning, start writing, and I stop when it's dark out. Sometimes I would write only 5,000 words in a day. If I'm not inspired, sometimes I'm just going to write 2,000. Sometimes I'm going to get up to 25,000 or even 30,000 words, which is rare, believe me. And if I do this back to back, I get literally sick. So I do not recommend writing so much every day. But I do try to take breaks. So maybe one day I'm going to write a lot. Then the next day it's going to be a little bit more laid back. So as for the stories, usually I start okay, let's just say this. Every one of my writing seasons, I'll come out of it with 2 or 3 finished stories, 10 or more half-finished ones, half-written ones, and almost 100 or, well, dozens of started stories. I just give my muse free rein to do whatever she wants. I let her write whatever she wants, and she delivers. She writes a lot. Sometimes I never do anything with a story, but that's okay because it's practice. It's getting that writing muscle fired up, And then once it's fired up, I get to write those amazing stories that I end up publishing. So, and if sometimes I'm not 100% happy with a story, I'll just share it on Wattpad because I still like it, and especially if it's finished, I still like it. So I'm gonna put it up on Wattpad, but I'm not gonna try and publish it because maybe there's something not enough. I don't know. That's just my process anyway. And so, for example, last writing season I came out with just 1 finished story, but that's probably gonna be the 3rd published one because it's amazing. Sometimes I try to continue those half-written ones, and I do manage to add a chapter here, a chapter there, especially if it's one of my favorite stories. For example, I have a few very, very favorite half-written stories that I am going to finish. Whatever happens, even if I just have to add 1 chapter each, it's just going to happen eventually. So anyway, this is my process, and for Kai, it was one of those rare instances which happened a few times with a few of my finished stories, that I would just sit down. I would write from morning till night, and I would not stop. Just toilet and eating. Just nobody's allowed to bother me. Just writing nonstop. And usually it takes 2 or 3 days to finish a story. Sometimes even 1 if it's a novella or something. I will never forget that 85,000 word book took 3 days. I was sick after that, so I really that was not the best experience, but I still love that story. For Kai, it took about 2 or 3 days. It just came out of me flowing. You just write and you don't stop. Just no stopping at whatsoever. Just to sleep, because obviously you need the sleep to wake up refreshed and pick up the story. And yeah, if I leave a story at some point, it's not going to be finished anytime soon. So I really try to sit down and write a whole story in several sittings back to back, if that makes sense. Anyway, so yeah, that's did I explain it right? I don't know. That's my crazy writing process. I know it's crazy, but it's the thing that works for me for the first time in my life. I'm finishing stories. I've managed to finish a lot of stories this way, and I'm so happy I discovered it after 20 years of writing. I only discovered it like a year ago, so yeah, I'm happy I discovered it. Brian asks, as a citizen of Bulgaria, what made you decide to set the story in an American city? Because I've read and watched in so much American art that it's so entrenched in my brain that it's like automatic. I didn't do it on purpose. It's the easiest for me, to be honest. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I always wrote in English, in American English. I always imagined my characters in America. Whenever I tried to write a story in the UK, for example, it's really hard for me because there's so much slang and I can't remember all the slang, and it's difficult. I mean, I guess I could write a story set in Bulgaria one day. Of course I can. With Bulgarians or foreigners, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. It's just a case of what you're reading and watching, you're also creating. If that makes sense. I don't know. Janeen asks, are there any scenes that you had to remove you wish you could keep? I rarely remove or add anything because it's usually just done. I don't know how to explain this. I mean, I fix things, but I don't know. I can't explain it. It's like the story is out as it's supposed to be, with the exception of, for example, a scene that wasn't supposed to happen and it's not allowed to happen. So, for example, in my third book, I had this problem of having, so the main character is an assassin, and the other character is a homeless boy, and they're adorable together. Anyway, I had to remove a scene from that book because there was dubious consent. Yeah, no, that's I don't think that should be in books. Between, loving people, like if you're in a relationship with someone and you love them, there shouldn't be a scene like that. Laws asks, do you plan or pants? Bouncing all the way. I don't know how many. I answered so many questions already. Hold on. Julian asks, what was your favorite part of writing this? My favorite part of writing Guys Healing Smiles. Oh my god. Those little moments in which the characters sense there's something or say something or there's hand holding or I'm so romantic. I'm such a romance slut. Seriously, sometimes I would just reread my stories over and over, but those moments that I love the most, like when you watch a favorite TV show and you would just watch your favorite moments or a movie, yeah, that's what I do with my stories sometimes. And you can just imagine how intense it is while you're writing it because you're experiencing it for the first time. And experiencing Kai and Silas for the first time was amazing. Oh, I love them so much. Okay, maybe two more questions. I'm getting tired here. Okay. Ooh. Dawn asks, why self-publish? because it fits with my character, because I'm a much passionate person. I love design, I love marketing, I love finding out how to do things, little experiments. It's just, I like to control things, so it's perfect for someone like me. I would not be emotionally okay if I queried, to be honest. And then to have to change things because someone tells me, I'm sorry, I mean no offense to those who query and are traditionally published. All the power to you. I'm happy that you found something that works for you. It's just not for me. Julian asks, how do you have so many reviews? I want tips. Like I said, ARC reviews, you send an advanced reader copy to people who want to read your book early, and they agree to leaving an honest review in advance. So basically, yeah, it's what traditional publishers do. It's what everyone does. So it just makes sense to me that we indie authors should do it more as well, because it's really, really helpful. Like right now I have 50 reviews on Goodreads. I have a few reviews on Amazon as well. I mean, I hope there are going to be more soon, but it's okay. I'm just happy for what I have, and it's been an amazing experience to see all the feedback, even things that people didn't like. It's really good for me to know. And yeah, everyone has been so respectful and nice. Even the people who didn't like my book were so respectful and nice, and I'm really lucky for that. I'm expecting some of those mean comments soon, but I'm gonna withstand I'm going to be strong. I promise. Janeen asks, how do you choose your character names? Baby name lists. I know it's so on the nose, but like, I have so many stories. Remember I mentioned dozens of stories every writing season? Now imagine coming up with names for every story. It's a nightmare. So instead of focusing on the names, I just open a baby name list and just pick something interesting. For Kai and Silas, I'm sure I did the same thing. Have no idea. I just opened the list and it's silly, I know, but I have so many characters, so many. Hiro asks, have you based any of the characters on people you know in real life? Simon, the online pal, was based on my experiences in my real life. Let's see, Silas, I don't think Silas is based on anyone. Kai, you already know who he's based on. May, I'm pretty sure is based on one of my friends or several. Jason is definitely based on one of my friends. Let's see, who else? Wesley, I don't know about Wesley, he just came to me. Yeah, several of the people. Nathaniel is not based on anyone, I don't think. So yeah, several of the people are based on people I know, but I didn't even decide it just happened from in my brain, I guess. Like I never know what's gonna come out of my brain or what kind of characters or who they're gonna be. I discover them as you discover them. Lysander asks, what is something important you learned about writing self-publishing? That's such a good question. I learned that you have to give yourself a lot of time before publishing, because I gave myself 1 month. I did a pre-order, so I set my book for a pre-order. I gave it a month, and it was barely enough to do all the ARC reviews and all the contacting book bloggers and figuring out the ISBN and all the stuff for the paperback and doing all the promo stuff and figuring out everything. Maybe it's because I'm doing it for the first time. That's why it took so long, but I'm pretty sure that you need, I mean, there's a fellow indie author, her name is Bethany Atazada. She's amazing. She has the most helpful self-publishing videos, links below. And I noticed that she does everything in 3 months. So she gives herself 3 months from the moment she starts publishing something to the release date. So she has enough time to do all the steps that she needs to do a proper launch, I guess. So I'm definitely happy that I have more time for my next book, because it's coming out in on December 13th, which is in 3 months, which gives me plenty of time to do everything, and I already know most of the steps, so that's helpful to me. And also, it's already edited. I mean, there's going to be a little bit more editing, but it's good to know that it's almost finished, so that's a load off. Dawn, how did you feel writing Kai's Healing Smiles? I felt all the things you guys felt when you read it. I felt really, really sad with Silas. I felt guilty when he did. I felt Kai's exuberance and desire to live and to be happy, his hopefulness, Silas's despair. I think the balance of the two was the most powerful that I've experienced in a single book, because I always have that balance of the dark and the light, but maybe in this case it's really, really it's really there. There's a lot of despair and a lot of happiness, so I hope that I did it justice. I felt all the feelings, and I'm really appreciative that the readers who read the book so far have mentioned that it gave them hope, that it made them feel things, that it was all the feels. I love when someone says all the feels, because it is all the feels. I love all the feels. I think this is what I'm most the strongest in, and I enjoy the most in my stories, the emotional life of the characters and the emotional journey that they take from start to finish. So this is what I know. I'm a psychologist. I graduated in psychology. This is what I know. The psychological well-being, the emotional well-being of a person, and how when it's disturbed, after that you have to recover, you have to heal, and it takes a long time, and there's steps back, and I believe those things should be in literature, and I love the books that include that journey, and I love including that journey in my own books. I really love it. Okay. Amy asks, what made you decide to become a writer? I've always told stories. Ever since I was a little girl, I swear I just told stories. I would run around with my Barbies and my dolls and all of my toys and just tell stories. Someone kidnapped someone and someone saved them, and I would make theaters with toys. I would just tell stories from the moment I knew what a story was. So then writing was a natural thing that happened after I learned how to write, how to read. It was just a natural thing, and even though I'm a multi-passionate person with a lot of interests, writing has been always with me, and I don't feel like myself if I'm not writing, to be honest. It's the one thing that's always kept me happy and feeling like me. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, it's one thing to always write, but it's quite another to decide to become published. Like I said before, it took me many, many years to feel confident enough, to feel ready enough to publish. And to be honest, the fact that I'm here today with you, that I'm having this book party, that I'm getting this book out, is only because I managed to prioritize my writing a year ago or a couple of years ago. I remember, I'll never forget, on one New Year's Eve, I said, okay, it's never going to happen if I don't put it first. It's just never going to happen. So I said, okay, from this moment on, this is a priority number one. And from that moment on, I started finishing stories. I started writing more. I started taking the time. I started thinking about publishing. I'm publishing now. I feel like this decision is the reason why I'm here today, because I prioritize my writing. And listen, I know it's not always possible. I have several jobs, but I just had to compromise. I had to find something that's more part-time. I had to work partly for myself as well. I had to figure things out, and it's really hard, and it's not always possible. I get it, but I did my best. And I'm happy that I managed, because I'm here today, and I'm lucky enough to be able to publish a book, and I put some money in it that I had saved from my jobs and stuff, and I don't expect it to break even or to make me any money, to be honest, because it's just the start. At the start, nobody really knows your name. I'm just hoping that when I start publishing regularly, I'm gonna start building my name, and every time it's gonna be a little bit more, awareness, money, whatever. I don't care. Like, I'm fully prepared to work and work and work for the next 10 more years. The dream is to be an author one day, to be a professional author one day who can make money from my books. But I mean, it's not gonna happen anytime soon, so it's okay. I'm just doing my jobs and taking money from there to invest in my books. Hopefully it works. Dawn asks, how long did it take to edit? Writing took 3 days. Editing took a few months. Hiro asks, what do you do if you get writer's block? I don't write. I just relax and I take a break. Sometimes my mind gets so bogged down in all kinds of stuff that I just have to take a long walk, clear my mind, or I don't know. Sometimes I just take a break because I've been writing too much, like every day, all day, it's a lot. So it's a signal that my brain needs a break, or it's a signal that my brain is full of crap. Like when I'm on social media all day, every day, and there's a lot of conversations and it bogs down your creativity. At least that's the case for me. Or when you watch too much news, or I don't know, just those things that are like mucking your brain. They pile on, and sometimes they're negative, and you can't stop thinking, or they're at the back of your brain, and they don't allow your creativity to flow. So that is why when I have a writing season, I barely do social media. I barely do anything else or work, just because I'm sensitive and it makes me nervous, and when I'm nervous, I don't really create very well. So yes, when I have writer's block, I'm either very bogged down by stuff, or I need a break and I take a walk. And yeah, I can write anytime. I can sit down and write right now. I don't really believe in writer's block unless it's mental illness, or I've been depressed in my life and I hadn't been able to write then, so I get that. Or sometimes you get a little bit bogged down by doubts, like for example, I'm not a good writer, or no one's gonna ever read this, or those doubts that are like buzzing in your brain. The moment I stopped entertaining those doubts, I felt a lot lighter and I suffered less writer's block, because I was like, you know what, I can write anytime, I can write fine, it's fine. And then you relax and you just write. And obviously, the more you write and the more often you write, the easier it becomes, like anything else. So, because my writing is in seasons, I have to warm up at the start of the season because I've been out of practice. But that's okay. You warm up for a few days and then you're again. Yeah, it's fine. Amber asks, I'm interested in knowing where you found Kai's characteristics. Who knows? My muse just gave them to me. I never know what she's gonna do. I never know what she's gonna say or write or ever. Ever. Like literally, I'm surprised at every turn of the page. And of course, I wouldn't have it any other way because this is the fun part. If it's not fun, I don't know if I'd be enjoying the writing process. Janeen asks, what was your favorite scene to write? My favorite scene to write was maybe the sexy scenes. No, I'm kidding, but I'm also not kidding. I loved the steamy scenes. I love it when two characters come together and they're together in this really, really intimate way, in this new way that they're together. And there's no closed doors or windows or whatever. You just see them as they are. And it's amazing. I loved seeing them as they are. I mean, it was a little bit of a surprise because it wasn't planned, but also at the same time, I really enjoyed it. Emmy asks, tell me the one thing you feel sums you up as a writer. Sums me up as a writer. I'm an emotional writer. I aim to evoke emotions in other people as I evoke emotions in myself as I write it. So I hope that what I have felt as I wrote, you would feel as you read it. This is what sums me up, basically. Yeah. Jeremy asks, why did you write that mild essay scene? You know what essay is, right? I'll write it below. It's sexual attack, let's say. Okay, so the thing is, those scenes feature in many of my books. Most of the time it's off the page. It's happened in the past or whatever. Sometimes it's on the page, but it doesn't happen fully because I'm never gonna do that. So in this case, I think in most of my other stories, I have this element because it happens a lot. It happens a lot in the world, and it needs to be talked about, and it needs to not be glorified and to be shown as something devious that should be punished and is punished. I personally have not been essayed in my life, but I have had scares, several, in my life. Even when I was very, very young, I hope you've never experienced that. To have a scare at such a young age, it's horrible and it stays with you forever. So let's just say it's something that stayed with me forever, and sometimes when I write, I feel like I'm working through some issues myself by writing them down. So if it makes sense, as my characters are dealing with a trauma or whatever, I'm dealing with something that happened, you know? And it's so common, especially in some circumstances. We shouldn't hide it. You know, obviously we shouldn't glorify it, but we shouldn't hide it. It happens all the time. So, yeah, it snuck in. As anything else, I never planned to use it in a book, ever, but it does, and it's my brain's way of dealing with something that it experienced at some point in my life. Laws asks, is there a sequel planned? No. Sorry. Sorry. Shalaka asks, who was the most fun character to write, the most difficult to write? May was the funnest one to write because she's everyone's favorite for a reason. She's so much fun. Her banter and the jokes killed me. I tried to read the first chapter out loud, like a audio recording of the first chapter. I cracked up all the time when May was talking. I couldn't even do it because of her. The most difficult one to write was Silas, because he was just, it was so hard to write him. But I did. I feel accomplished. I did. I survived. Laws asks, your favorite drinks and snacks to have as you write? Coffee for sure, Coke. The drink. I don't even know what I drink and eat when I write. I usually don't. I often forget. People have to remind me. I'm so in the zone that I don't even know. Can't remember. Hiro asks, if there's one thing you wanted to add in or to remove from the book, what would it be? Nothing. It's just as it has to be. Oh, I mean, if I removed some of the steamy scenes, it would be easier to consume for more people, but I'm not interested in more people. I'm interested in my kind of people. You know? You know who you are. Lysander asks, what are some themes, tropes you'd like to explore in future stories? Great question. In my future stories, well, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit. I'm a writer of habit. I love what I love, and certain things are always going to feature in my stories, like age gap. I don't know why. It's always been a part of me. I used to be obsessed and wrote a lot of student-teacher romances for some reason, and I'm still writing some of them. The other, even bigger part of me is hurt comfort or hurt healing. So this trope is the biggest part of me because I like to explore how people heal after something's happened to them. It features in most of my books. Not everyone. Not everyone is a heavy one. Don't worry. Some are pretty light, but this one and the next one are really heavy. I'm interested to see how people who are really, really, really down on their luck, or really traumatized, or really just in a really bad place, come back to life. This is what I love doing the most in my writing, and it's kind of funny because I could never be like a therapist in my life. Too emotionally taxing for me personally, but I love doing it in my stories. I actually have a lot of characters who go through therapy because I've learned, I've studied it, I've at some point maybe wanted to do it, but not anymore. I only do it in my stories now. Oh, look! We have a little kitty! Whee! Hi! Say hi! She's partying too. So yeah, those two tropes are the ones that are always prevalent in my stories. But I'm excited to finish some of my. I feel like there's cat hair all over me. I'm excited to finish my werewolf stories because I have a few really good werewolf romances where there's a lot of queer rep and there's a lot of feels and there's childhood friends or childhood mentor or something. I love childhood friends slash whatever stories. I'm really excited to finish that story. I'm also excited to finish one that's where the character is, he has a lower IQ, right? Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But then he meets someone extremely smart, and their dynamics is amazing. I love them so much. I'm also most excited about one of my stories that the minute I finish it, I'm going to publish it. It's one of my all-time favorite stories I've ever written, bar none. And it's Beauty and the Beast, but gay. So it has all the feels. I can't wait to show you. So anyway, some of my favorite quotes are from that book, and I'm like, come on, Vivi, finish it. It's the best book ever. Trust me, I'm trying to finish it. Hiro asks, who is your favorite character who reminds you the most of you, or who you want to be most like? I would be honored and so happy if someone told me that I'm like Kai, because in my view, he's a really good character. He's a really good person, and I would be honored to be like him. I think I am. Maybe. I don't know. You tell me. Am I like Kai? I don't know. Different people see different things differently. That was a dumb thing to say. Anyway, Amy asks, will you carry on writing in this genre? Yes. I'm planning on publishing 3 more stories in the very near future that are gay romance, and there's going to be more after that. So hopefully it's going to be many years of, or at least several years of this genre. Hope. I love it. I can't stop writing it. Elice asks, will our resident witch get her own book? I don't know. We'll see. People are asking about May a lot. Oh my god. Bran asks, as a woman, what drew you to writing gay romance? That's a really good question, actually. I'm non-binary, but for most of my life, I've identified as a cis woman, so it's okay. Yeah. How can I say this? Okay, I read a lot of gay romance. I even noticed that the majority of writers of gay romance were women. I don't know why. Okay, don't ask me. I don't make the rules. And I decided, okay, so seemingly this is okay to do for a woman to write male characters and male romance. So I started writing, encouraged by the fact that there's others like me who love this genre, who love using queer characters as main characters, and just working with queer love as it is. And I was really excited. I could have, read a ton of sapphic romances and started to write sapphic stories, but for some reason I loved gay romance. I think my first book was the first book that I read that was gay romance was Wolf Song by T.J. Klune. Oh my god. My favorite ever. It has werewolves, it has childhood friends, it has age gap, it has gay romance, it has everything. It has steamy scenes, it has everything I love. So I think when I read that, I was like, oh my god, I have to read more. I started reading more and more. At first it was mostly like shifter romances, then it was other tropes, then it was BDSM romances, which is where the daddy thing comes from. And I read every single trope in that genre. I kid you not. I just was ravished for it. Is that the word? I was hungry for it. I really wanted to read everything in that genre. I fell in love with it, and it never let me go. I remember telling my mom, yeah, it's just a stage. It's gonna pass in a month or so. 2 years later, it has not passed. So I'm just gonna keep reading and writing in that genre because I love it. And yeah, I mean, some people will say that it's strange for a woman to write a gay romance, but I believe if you do your research, if you talk to people, if employ beta readers and just kind of approach this in a sensitive way, trying not to offend anyone. I mean, I think you can write anything you want. In general, I mean, men write women, queer rep is always good. I think it's okay. Let me know if you think otherwise. I mean, I try to be respectful. I try to write gay romance well. Hopefully, I manage somewhat. You tell me. Emmy, do you have any more books coming out soon? December 13, To Trust and to Touch, a man who doesn't want anyone to touch him, who's covered in vine tattoos because he doesn't want to be touched, works in a sex club, long story, and a single parent, a dad, with a little girl. A strange combination, a strange relationship, but very, very sweet and very heavy, too. Coming soon. Dawn, how does it feel to be publishing a story? Amazing, amazing. I can't even believe that is happening. It's like some kind of dream, and oh my god, this video is so long. My apologies, but I'm so thankful to everyone who made this possible, to my editor, BK Bass, to the illustrator who did this amazing thing, Ruart, links below. To all of my amazing ARC readers, thank you so much for giving this book a chance, giving me your honest feedback. You really, really helped. I'm full of love and excitement, and it's really like a dream. I can't believe it's happening. I mean, my first book was actually supposed to be my first book was supposed to be a hetero romance. I can't show you right now because that would be showing you something that's not shown to the world yet. But basically, it's a hetero romance, college one. It's friends to lovers. It's so much fun. It's a novella. It is coming next year, probably under my real name. I'll probably let you know under Vivian Hunt as well, because I'm planning to connect my names. I'm not really ashamed of anything. I just didn't want to publish these books under my real name because of my conservative relatives. That's the only reason. Like everyone else, I don't care if they know who I am. I regularly tell people, hey, this is actually me. Link them to my site or to my other Twitter account. I'm not ashamed of anything. Because the books are very steamy, I just decided to, just in case, be, gentle with my relatives and not force them to be shocked or whatever. Anyway, I actually answered all the questions. I can't believe I answered all the questions. There were so many questions. And look at my plants. Look at my balloons! This on here is my first 5-star review. This is how I imagine my my author page will look like with all those books. Kai and Silas always here next to me. My baby Misha, sleeping next to me. This sad party hat that's just not working for I don't know what reason. And my book. Okay, that's it. That's the whole party. Let me know if I forgot to mention something. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. I will answer every single one. I'm so excited that my book is finally out today. And if you want to win a signed copy and the swag and everything, just enter the giveaway below. And yeah, what else? I don't know what else. And nothing else. There's nothing else. This is everything I wanted to say. Thank you for being my friends and for joining me on this incredible journey. I appreciate you. And I'll probably see you on Twitter. Bye. 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 I don't know what that was.